Hello my lovelies, welcome back to another video. Welcome to my channel. Today we are doing the book tag recommendation. I'm super excited. But yeah, let's just get right into it. So my questions are on my notes app. I typed them up. We have 15. I think the book tag has like 10, but I got my book tag questions from Steph. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So the first question is a book you tell people is your favorite book, and I'll have to go with Serpent and Dove by Shelby Morin. This is it. Yeah. So this book is a forbidden romance. It is a fantasy book as well, if I just said that. So basically what it is a forbidden romance between a chaser and a witch, and basically it is set in like the 1800s where the church was very prominent in France. This is set in France. But yeah, so that's that. I quite like this. This is a 500-page book. You get dual POV, we get to see magic and all that kind of stuff. There's angst in this book. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I would just recommend it to anyone, young, old. If you don't like fantasy, this is the first fantasy book that I read and it got me into fantasy. So yeah, just a really good all-rounder book. So the next question is a book that is your guilty pleasure. These series, I'm currently reading the third book at the moment and I'm absolutely loving it. But this is my guilty pleasure. This is called The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. This book was so good. This was my first romance book that I ever read. Got me into reading. Basically what it is a billionaire trope. He is a billionaire and his grandpa died, and basically he has to do things that are in his will to be able to get his inheritance. And so he has to go to Dreamland, which is the theme park. It gives Disneyland vibes. And he meets a girl named Zara who is bubbly, full of light, so good. And yeah, so that's that. Grumpy Sunshine, billionaire trope, Disneyland vibes. There are some things in here that are kind of questionable if you've read it, but this is also an adult romance. There is spice in here, but I just loved this book. This book was so good. Highly recommend. Yeah. Third question. I hate when Face ID doesn't work. A book that everyone loved but you didn't. It's over here. I'm so sad that I didn't like this because I don't know if it was just me. That scared me. But The Kiss Quotient. I got about halfway in it and I DNF'd it. Basically what it is a girl who has autism. She has sensory issues. She doesn't like being touched, and she gets a male escort to help her through that, and they fall in love. Basically that's all it is. I don't know, it felt awkward to read. I did not like it at all. It just made me uncomfortable, and that's not what I like when I read. Also, there were so many spelling mistakes in here, just typos that were like not meant to be in there. And yeah, this is not a good book if you have dyslexia, which is what I have. Like there's a little review by Sarah J Maas on the front, and I was like, she liked it, I'ma like it. I did not. And I'm so sad, but I don't recommend reading that book. fourth question, a book that you read the fastest. I don't have it on me, but it is on my Kindle, and it is The Deal by Elle Kennedy. That book is like 400 pages long, and I read it in the weekend, like on a Saturday and Sunday. I read it, ate that shit up and all that kind of stuff. Basically it is a hockey sports romance, dual POV. Yeah. It is a part of a series. It's the first book in a series. The series is called the Off-Campus series, and each book in the series is one of the mates on the hockey team, and the first one is Hannah and Garrett's book. But yeah, if you don't know that book, I highly recommend it. It is such a good book to read for a like new reader, but there is spice in it, so I don't recommend it to little kids. But if you are 18 and over, go read it. It is so good. Number 5, question 5. A book that deserves more hype. This book is a mind twist, and I don't really see many reviews on this book. So basically what it is a bunch of girls. Let me just read the back real quick because I forgot what it is about. Oh yeah, so it's about a bunch of girls in a clique at university, and they call themselves Bunny. Yeah, and something happens. So it's a bit of a mind twisted series. It is told by one person's perspective. You don't get dual POV in this book. But yeah, left me literally like gobsmacked at the end of the book. So yeah, Bunny by Mona Ordad. So yeah, cute cover as well. Can't go wrong with a cute cover. Question 6. A book that is becoming a TV series or a movie. Well, we have these two. This book, Daisy Jones and the Six, is already out on Amazon Prime in Australia. Such a good book series. You really got to see it all play out. So I highly recommend you read this Daisy Jones and the Six and then watch the TV series. Yeah, I think it got everything in it. It's set in the 1970s. Got all that 70s vibes if you love that 70s vibe. So yeah, this is by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This book is a lot of talking in it, so if you don't really like describing the scenes around you and you just want to read dialogue, this book will be your lifesaver. If you have dyslexia, read this book because you'll just get through it so much and you'll feel very accomplished and be like, I actually read a book. Because this book is, how many times am I going to flick through the pages, honestly? That's a little snippet of Carrie Soto's back. This book is 400 pages long, 398 pages long. And you'll feel so accomplished once you've read this. But yeah, highly recommend Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Another one that I'm hearing is another Taylor Jenkins Reid books, which is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This book has mixed reviews. This book is becoming a movie. this book is a TV series. But basically, this book is about a girl named Evelyn Hugo, and she's had 7 husbands. She then comes out as a lesbian. And it's basically her story, figuring out all that kind of stuff in the 1950s. It's very much like elegant vibes in this book. Strong female empowerment in this book. But it's not told by Evelyn Hugo's point of view, it's told by a writer who is in a magazine, newspaper, like she's a reporter and she's doing an article on Evelyn Hugo. Yeah, so that's basically the whole thing about it. That's a movie. 7th question, a book you have reread the most. I feel weird rereading books, but the books that I have read are That's My Dad, To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and Looking for Atlantic by John Green, that book. But yeah, I just love, this is a YA romance. I was almost about to say fantasy. This is a YA romance, and if you don't know, this is a TV series, movie series. You have To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and then 2 other movies. And basically what happens in this movie is that Lara Jean writes a bunch of letters to her crushes throughout the years, and then her little sister mails them. And basically this girl fell in love with her neighbour, and her neighbour is dating her older sister. So she and Peter Kavinsky, who was also another letter recipient, fake date to make sure that her next door neighbour realises that she does not like him anymore. And his reason is so that his ex-girlfriend thinks that he is over him. Yeah. This is told in Lara Jean's point of view. There's no dual POV. But yeah, this is a good, wholesome romance, YA romance, and you'll get through it. It is 420 pages. But yeah, you can get through it quite easily. It's a nice, easy read. Next question. A book from a genre you don't typically read from. I'm reading it at the moment. I don't typically read romance books, but it's The Inmate by Frida McFadden. So good. It is a thriller book. Basically, it is about I've mentioned this book in my last video, but I'll say it again here. It is basically about a nurse. Her name's Brooke, and she is employed as a nurse at a high prison where her ex-boyfriend is now in, and she put him there. Oh my god, that's a big tongue twister. She put him there, and then we have to find out all those things that went down. But I also don't really read non-fiction. This book really opened up my eyes to how kids are treated in the entertainment industry. This book is I'm Glad My Mum Died by Jeanette McCurdy. She plays Sam in iCarly, Sam and Cat, on any like Nickelodeon shows. And basically it is her little memoir of her being a child actor and how her mum treated her during those times. But then unfortunately, like, she passes away, like she's literally holding an urn. But this is really good if you want to have something that's not really like fake. So this is like a little nice palette cleanser. The wording is nicely spaced out. It's quite bigger than like the rest of the books, but that makes it a little bit more easier if you have dyslexia. There's 304 pages in this book, but yeah, this is a nice little palette cleanser, as I've said. It's short chapters, yeah. If you also listen to audiobooks, Jeanette actually reads out her book for the audiobook, so yeah, I think that's kind of cool. Question number 8, oh, we've just done that. Question number 9, a book that deserves all the hype it gets. Oh, they're over here. I've only read the first book, or like kind of read the first book. Some people are not gonna agree with me, but I think this deserves all the hype. That's the question, right? This a book that deserves all the hype it gets. Well, this is not a book, but this is a series, and it is the Magnolia Park / Daisy Hates Universe series. This series is by Jessica Hastings, and basically, if you liked Gossip Girl, this is you. You're gonna love this series. But the reason why that people don't like this is because it's super toxic. But that is why I love it. I like reading drama that I'm not in. But these series are so toxic, but it's like Gossip Girl vibes. It's set in, like, I believe London. I can't really remember. I've only halfway read through the first book, but these books are so good. So yeah, plus the covers are absolutely stunning. But so we get a story in this series, and the second book, Daisy Hates, and the fourth book is another Daisy Hates book, is basically another POV from the first and the second books. But yeah, and they're all in like friend groups, but it's a lot of drama, a lot of toxicity, but it's so good. But yeah, highly recommend it if you can handle such toxicity. Oh, and another reason why people don't like it is because there's cheating involved in it, and no one really likes cheating. Cheating is an awful thing, but if it's not happening to me and it's not happening to anyone I care about, and it's fake, which means that it's in a book, I don't really care. Like, I will read it, but cheating is not good. A book you give when asked for a recommendation. A book that I give for a recommendation, I would probably, depending on who has asked, if it's like a little kid, if it's an adult. If it's an adult, I would recommend the fine print. It's here. Let me just grab it again. I would recommend the... Let me just grab it. I like recommending series instead of standalones, because if you have standalones, then you can just read one and you're done. While with your reading a series, then you got a next one to go to. So if I was to recommend an adult, I recommend the Dreamland Billionaires series, because you pretty much got everything in here. You got Grumpy Sunshine, except for the third book. In these two books, they're basically like a copy and paste, but I think that they had a little bit of a difference in them. But you got Grumpy Sunshine, Billionaires. This is a second chance romance, but yeah, like, it's got spice, it's got everything that I could possibly ask in a nice little book series. There's only 3 in a series, so it's nice, quick, easy reads. But yeah, if they were an adult, if they were a child, what else do you say? If they were under the age of like, if they were 14 and under, I would literally recommend any Lynn Painter books, any Lynn Painter YA books, because they are literally so good. This is better than the movies. This is the do-over. These are the only YA books that I have, but I want to read Lynn Painter's books because I've enjoyed them so much. I have Haley Pham to thank for that, but basically this is boy next door, best friends to lovers. This one, she's redoing her day and she falls in love with her like enemy. But yeah, little short chapters. There's like little things that happen at the start of each chapter. Like she has, in the do-over, she has a confession. Like this is chapter 8 and it was confession number 8. When I was 10, I used to sneak into my next door neighbor's backyard on summer days and swim in their hot tub when they were at work. No one ever knew. So like, I think that's pretty cool. And then in the Better Than the Movies one, she starts each chapter with a little like quote from romance movies. So we have chapter 10 and it's, but mostly I hate the way I don't hate you. Not even close, not even a little bit, not even at all. By 10 things I hate about you. So good, but just really good quotes in these books. Basically, you will eat it up. What was that one? Number 11, we have a book that has your favorite character/characters. People are gonna laugh when I show these. I'm just gonna grab these 2 books because these characters show up in these 2 books. So I am a through and through stan of Twilight. Yes, I am a Twilight stan. I also grabbed New Moon because this is where we see Jacob and more of the werewolves. They are very worn in, very much loved, but I love Bella and Edward. I love Alice, the Edward Cullen family, the Cullen family, the Black family. Love how these 2 worlds collide and how these blend. These are very much cringeworthy because of when they came out, but these were a blueprint, and I just said it. But I love these characters. I love the found family in this book. Yeah, just if you want something with like a little bit of everything in it, read Twilight. Okay, you got a little bit of vampire, werewolves, that kind of stuff. You got romance, you got angst. Read it. If you haven't read Twilight yet and you are a book reader, you gotta read Twilight, or you're not a book reader. Question 12, a book you wish you could live in. See, this one's a hard one. A book I wish I could live in? Probably either Belladonna Nope, I take that back. I wasn't looking at my bottom shelf. Book that I wish I could live in? the Shadowhunters universe. The Shadowhunters universe. You telling me that I could be born with angel blood in my system and I can do runes on my body and I can have that power? This is also like a fantasy dystopian type of world. So if you don't know, probably should start with this, but if you don't know what the Shadowhunters series is, there's 3 series out in this whole world. You have the Immortal Instruments, the ones with clockwork on it, the Infernal Devices, and there's a new one out called the Chains. What are the Chains called? There's another one, but people are arguing of like when to read it. I've only read the Shadowhunters. I want to read the Infernal Devices and the new series that she's come out with, but I recommend reading this series. Basically, this is like a dystopian world. So you have real life world with humans, and then you have a whole nother world. And so basically you have like a pentagram. Is that what it is? Where 2 worlds collide and then you have like the middle bit in the middle. This is where Shadowhunters are. So you have real life and the Shadow World. The Shadow World has warlocks, goblins, werewolves, vampires, all that kind of fun stuff. And basically Shadowhunters are half human, half angel, and they have angel blood in their systems, and basically they are trained to keep the demons and the Shadow World from killing the human world. Yeah, and the Shadowhunter series is based on a girl named Clary. She didn't know that she was a Shadowhunter until she turned 18 and all of her memories came back. So that's what the Shadowhunters, I should say stop saying Shadowhunter series, the Immortal Instruments is basically based on like now, today, present time with Clary, Jace, Isabel, Alec, Magnus, all those kinds of characters. They do have a TV series out as well if you don't want to watch the books, read the books. But yeah, there are 6 books in this series, but the first book has 500 pages. What do I have? Yeah, 500 pages. So yeah, this is the world that I would live in. And then the last book is a book that you thought you would hate but ended up loving, is The Inmate by Frida McFarlane. I thought that I would not like this book because it was slow at the start, but I finished it and I absolutely loved it. 5 stars. So yeah, read The Inmate by Frida McFarlane. You will not regret it. It is so good. It's a thriller. Got angst in it, so yeah. But they are all the questions for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and make sure you do all that YouTube stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, and I hope that you have a beautiful, magical, wonderful day, month, year, or whenever you're watching this. But yeah, bye guys.